Hi everybody, how you doing today? I have a couple pets down here with me today, so if you see them in the background, they followed me down. How you doing today? I hope everybody's good. So I'm learning about YouTube, as this is my second YouTube live video. So you can comment during the live video, but once it's set and no longer live, you can't comment anymore. So if you're watching live, please say hi in the comments. Have your mom and dad say hi for you real quick so that I know that you're here. If you're watching this later, that's totally fine. That's what I'm doing them for. Make sure to like and subscribe so that I know that people are actually watching. So there's a reason for me to keep doing this. If you're part of my daycare, I am going to put it in our daycare group and you can comment there too after the fact. Okay, so let's get started. I have 2 books to read today. You can see Izzy is on my lap here. She's not looking at the camera, but she followed me down. So we're going to start with Curious George at the Aquarium. I know we already read a Curious George book where he visited the aquarium, but it was a different book. This one is different. So I figured I'd read this one too so that you could see it. I love going to the aquarium. Do you? Curious George at the Aquarium by Margaret and H.A. Rays. This is George. He was a good little monkey and always very curious. Today, George and the man with the yellow hat were visiting the aquarium. George, said the man, please wait here while I buy the tickets. George tried to wait, but he was so excited. What was inside? He wanted to look over the walls, but they were too high. I'm going to scooch forward a little bit here. You can see the pictures better. Just then, he heard a splash and a whoosh. Water flew high into the air. People cheered. What could that be? George was curious. He hopped over the gate into the aquarium. How surprised he was! Swimming right in front of George were 2 beluga whales. The mother and the baby whale swam right past him. And not far away was a family of sea lions diving and splashing. What fun! George noticed people walking toward a big door. Could there be more to see? He followed the crowd. Now where was he? It was darker inside and there were fish everywhere. George did not know where to look first. In one tank, there were sharp-toothed piranhas. In another, there were seahorses. Seahorses, I think, are my favorite. Do you have a favorite? And in another tank, there was a large red octopus. So much to look at. George saw a group of children across the room. An aquarium staff member was pointing to different sea creatures. This is a starfish. This is a clam, and this is an urchin. Nearby, there was a long, low, colorful tank. It was perfect for touching. George is standing in front of a sign there. What do you think the sign says? George was curious. As he reached in his hand to the water, a large crab came scuttling out from under a rock and right towards his finger. Snap! Ouch! Poor George. He did not like this exhibit. See the sign? It says, do not touch. Oops. Oops. I guess George didn't know that, though. George slipped out a door and into the sunlight. But, oh, what was going on here? George saw fat, funny-looking black and white fish flying under the water. As he watched, they flew up out of the water. What kind of fish does that? And where do they go? George wondered. George climbed up and into their exhibit. They were not fish at all, but penguins, of course. George hopped like a penguin, flapped his wings like a penguin. He waddled like a penguin. Can you waddle like a penguin? A crowd gathered and laughed. But when he slid on his belly like a penguin, what's going to happen? The aquarium staff stopped by to check on the penguins. A monkey in the penguin exhibit? George opened a door to escape, but instead, all the penguins ran out. Penguins, penguins everywhere. The staff was angry at George. How could they catch all the penguins? Uh-oh. In all the excitement, nobody noticed the penguin chick falling into the water. A penguin chick is a penguin baby. Nobody noticed but George. The baby penguin hadn't learned to swim yet, as only a monkey can. George scaled the rope hanging over the beluga tank and swung over the water, saving the chick. He's a hero. You see Marty playing back there with something he shouldn't have. The director of the aquarium and the man with the yellow hat heard the commotion and came running. That monkey helps the baby penguin, said a boy in the crowd. No one else could have saved him, said a girl. The director thanked George for his help and made him an honorary staff member of the aquarium. George said goodbye to his new penguin friends. He could not wait to come back to the aquarium to visit again. Come here. Come here, Marty. You see in the background, you see Marty? He's having a good time playing with something that he should be playing with. I'm going to have to throw that away. Marty, what are you doing? That's not for you. Meanwhile, Izzy's still here on my lap like a good girl. What? What are you doing? You shouldn't have that. Come here. He's not going to give it to me. Oh, before I start the next book, I wanted to mention that my favorite aquarium is the Mystic Aquarium in Connecticut. And they have really good webcams, and one of them is on the beluga whales. So if you're in my daycare group, when I post this there, I'll post a link to the Mystic Aquarium, and you can see the beluga whales on their live cam. If you're not looking at this on my daycare group, then just ask your parents to Google the Mystic Seaport Aquarium. Wake Up, It's Spring by Lisa Campbell Ernst. The winter was long and cold. Then, early one morning, the sun rose and warmed the earth. Wake up, old friend. It's spring, whispered the sun. And the warmed earth woke up. The earth basked in the sun's glow, then nudged its guest, the earthworm. Time to wake up. Spring is here. And the earthworm woke up. See, he's under the dirt. The worm wiggled in the warm earth and sang to its neighbor, the seed, Spring is here, rise and shine. And the seed woke up. The seed sprouted and grew out of the earth. It called to the sleeping ladybug, Wake up, spread your wings. It's spring. And the ladybug woke up. Ready. The ladybug laughed in the sunshine. It tickled the rabbit's ear as it whispered, Psst, rabbit, spring is here. And the rabbit woke up. The rabbit twitched his nose to smell the spring air. He thumped to the bird up in her nest. Out of bed, sleepyhead, it's spring. And the bird woke up. The bird soared from above and flew past the sleeping cat. Wake up, furry friend, the bird chirped. Spring is here. And the cat woke up. The cat stretched her legs and rubbed past the sleeping dog. Time to get up, she yawned. Oh, it's spring. And the dog woke up. There's a cat and a dog right here. I don't think you can see the cat, though. They're waking each other up. The dog frisked and jumped and barked into the baby's room. Wake up, wake up. It's spring, cheered the dog. And the baby woke up. The baby stood up in her crib with a laugh and shouted to her brother and sister, out, out, spring. And the brother and sister woke up. They picked up the baby and ran into their parents' room, jumped on the bed and shouted, wake up! Open your eyes! Spring is here! Spring is here at last! And the parents woke up, one eye at a time. And they all ran to dance together in the sun, the parents, the brother and sister, and the baby, and the dog, and the cat, and the bird, and the rabbit, and the ladybug, and the seed, and the worm, and all the earth. They look pretty happy. They look pretty happy? Because it was spring. Hooray! I love spring. It's my favorite season. Do you have a favorite season? Okay, so that's it for today. But for tomorrow, I have 2 new books. Another Curious George, as I promised that we would read George books until I ran out of George books. And I like George, so I have quite a lot. So tomorrow we have Curious George's Dinosaur Discovery. Ooh, look at that. He's petting a dinosaur. Would you pet a dinosaur? I don't think I would. And our second book is We're Going on a Dinosaur Dig. So we're going to read a lot about dinosaurs tomorrow. So we'll be back here at 10:30. Izzy's still on my lap. Say goodbye, Izzy. You guys have a great day. And again, let me know if you've watched. Like the video if you're watching on YouTube, and subscribe. And if you're watching in my daycare group, feel free to comment underneath. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.